I just made it up in time to catch this game. 1 minute into the action. Getting rid of all that boring stuff. But I'm gonna try something this game. It's a normal game. And I don't wanna rely on directed camera all the time. I'm gonna try to pilot the camera. And hopefully, I'll try not to miss any of the action. I don't know how to do this properly. Really, for the most part. We can skip way ahead. Live game's at 2:20. So let's just go ahead and do that. We'll just do the standard, toggle this on and off. Alright, so we should also rearrange everything depending on the correct matchup. Do this. Set. The set is supporting. Alright, cool. Everything should be organized now. Alright, let's get into it. So we have set against Aphelios top lane. Has been historically shown to be a pretty good lane for set. Jungle Kiana versus Zac. And we have a Facebreaker already coming out. Haymaker going in for the trade down at Seer. Chunks him out quite a bit. The mark is applied onto the Ashe, and I'm not sure if it was detonated. But that was a good trade coming out from the Aphelios. Mid lane we have Kassadin pushing in a Cassiopeia. Their names do sound quite similar. I hope I don't confuse them at some point. Now Zac is roaming down to the river. He is going to get his hands on a scuttle. But the Kiana is also right there. She's just sitting in the tri-brush. She wants this gank actually. She's not giving a crap about the scuttle right now. But she is going to walk away. Because the set is not arbitrarily extended enough. This is also a ward, so it's going to be a pretty tough call going in for a gank. I think this is still already far too long to have been waiting in the brush. Meanwhile, bot lane, we have the first weapon already been exhausted. It does appear that the pistol was the first to go out. No, wait, that is the... It's very hard to spot, actually. Yeah, that is the pistol that is first to go out. And now we have another thing coming up top. Zac finds his way into Kiana. Kiana grabs water and hops over the wall. Set will clear the Vision Ward, though it's just planted, but runs face first into the Aatrox. Aatrox is coming onto the trade, and Zac has arrived off to the side. Slingshot goes out, completely misses the mark. No knockups. Haymaker gets a big shield, but the damage is completely whiffed. Kiana flashes away to one side and Seth flashes away to the other, leaving just Zac to his own devices, dueling against an Aatrox. The Aatrox misses the third slam, and that's going to be the end of that. Meanwhile, bot lane, we simultaneously have another fight coming out. We're going to rewind 15 seconds to see what happened here. Facebreaker grabbing in the action, resulting in the stun. Haymaker comes out, and the flash flamethrower chunks takes out the Aphelios. Well, takes out the Ashe. Good kill from the Aphelios. Cannon mark was always also applied. Is the cannon up? There's no cannon mark. And the mark gets exhausted and it goes away. So now we fast forward back to real time. Decent, even trade coming out from top, and first blood claimed down bot. No chakram, so this turret plate is going to come slow and steady, using the cannon, which is the correct weapon to be hitting a solo tower right now. You want to conserve the flamethrower ammo. And now mid lane. Still a farm fest going down. Cassiopeia saw behind the CS, but she can't even it out here by correctly last hitting everything here. Although her health pool is the big concern here. Now I've received a message that Jupiter has reached Silver 4 in Legends of Runeterra. Now let's see if he will reach Silver 4 in this game. Now top lane, Seth has recalled. He is holding a 2-wave CS advantage over the Aatrox. His first item of choice is in fact the Execution Recalling. Very interesting choice. I will leave it at that. That is definitely not the first thing I will buy to counter an Aatrox, but you do you. Kassadin has hit level 6 and he's going to go on the Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia is tanking a few minions and barrier was overhit. 3 Kassadin minions will not be enough to take her down. Kiana comes in to save the day. And the Cassiopeia will try to walk back in. No health, no mana. This is a very risky overstay. Kassadin does not have flash. But Cassiopeia will die to a single whisper at this point. Meanwhile, bot lane Chakram is up. Unfortunately, the secondary weapon is a cannon, which is not the correct combination you want. Chakram is a terrible first weapon in this case. The cannon ammo must be exhausted. One more shot will switch it back to the pistol. You need to switch it back. Look, wait, it was a Calibrum. Oh no, I misjudged the weapons, but that's okay. This is still a one trade. The Chakram crit to Ash's face. Picks up a double kill in the 2v2 matchup. Clearly I can't read weapons, despite having played so many games of Aphelios. Which means that I have disgraced everyone and I must now uninstall. And now Zac, staying in the outer brush, the new brush, we call it the... We don't have a name for it yet, but I like to call it the armpit. He stays in the armpit hair and gets a sight on the Qiyana. Qiyana wants this blue buff, but she also wants to kill the Zac. There's going to be a brawl coming up, but Qiyana does not win this fight. But here comes the set, here to assist. Facebreaker stuns the Zac in place, and the blobs will be popped. But here comes the Kassadin. Force Pulse erases Qiyana, but the blobs are not long for this world, and only Set runs away. He has no Haymaker, so he just drops. The second Rift Walk is coming up right about now, and that's going to be the end of Cassiopeia. But meanwhile down here, Aatrox has teleported his way down. Aphelios grabs another kill onto the Ashe, and Kassadin cannot find additional kills, so he will just wander around. Can he perhaps find the Aphelios, who is on very critical mana? He does have the pistol Q to speed himself up away from the gank, but he switches off the pistol, and he does not get away in time. Kassadin secures the triple kill as a result of this fight. Now switching weapons, despite having no cooldown and no cast time, there is still a follow-through animation that, as far as I know, cannot actually be cancelled. So spending a fight tapping W is a significant DPS loss. That's something that people should try to avoid doing. But meanwhile, we have Set once again farming up a Storm top lane. He is now 3 minion waves ahead of Aatrox in terms of CS. Cassiopeia, bruised but not beaten, comes back with a Tear of the Goddess. But Kassadin one-ups that with a completed Rod of Ages, 8 minutes and 40 seconds into the game. And meanwhile, bot lane, everything has reset back to the standard equilibrium. In top lane, we have trades going on between the Set and Aatrox. The Haymaker claims a true damage punch, evening out that trade, and now Aatrox has to turn tail and run. This is the interesting part too about Set buying that item, but I will get to it a bit later, which I believe we just observed. Grievous Wounds doesn't apply if you do true damage with Haymaker. I could rewind and see that effect happen, but I'm pretty sure that Aatrox is not hit by Grievous Wound just then. And here we have Set. Set will grab the Aatrox, slams away from the tower, but Aatrox has a dash. The Facebreaker does not get the stun. Haymaker flashes away but gets dragged back immediately by the chain. Aatrox is far too low to stay, but Set has committed both of his summoner spells along with the Aatrox. And Zac is coming in to clean up the job. Meanwhile, Kassadin roaming down mid lane. There was a roam here that was caught off. It's a successful scuttle secure by the red team. Aatrox tries to make his way back, but Zac has something else to say about it. Sweeper has been turned on, disabling the wards. Zac guesses the wrong brush and jumps inside, finding nobody, allowing Aatrox to safely go home. But all that time has been converted into 2 turret plays now for the Set in top lane. He is now rocketing ahead in income. Very, very much so. Oh, there we go. Now Set hiding in the alcove. He wants the Ashe. He does not press the Q. There is no speed up. He gets in between them, but they're too far for a Facebreaker. He is going to slam the Azir into the Aphelios and claims that kill. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Zac counter jungles, but he does everything under the eyes of a ward that he knows is there because he swept it. But without an Azir, the 9 CS Ashe is hard pressed to hold this lane. In fact, I should really swap these two, huh? She is not having a good time here, but the Azir carry is currently not working out as well as they hoped it would. Now Qiyana makes her way down here. Kassadin will rift walk away. It means mid lane is now totally exposed, but Kassadin can give chase to the Qiyana. Now top lane, we have the trade returning. You must do physical damage to inflict the Grievous Wounds from Executioner's Calling. So I'm pretty sure if Set hits the true damage on Haymaker, it doesn't actually apply it. I could be extremely wrong on this. We'll have to see the next time he does land a true damage Haymaker. Maybe now. He lands it. And the buff does not appear to have refresh. Let's actually my curiosity has been far too peaked to go back. So let's just observe this effect once again. For science, we must see if this is the case. So we check the Grievous Wounds. See, the buff is not refreshed after hitting the true damage from the Haymaker. So yeah, only physical damage can apply Grievous Wounds. Very interesting discovery. Now meanwhile we have Zac. He jumps into the Dragon Pit and Dragon doesn't like that, so he breathes on him for a while. And bot lane is privy to this movement. But Zac will get himself out of there with the Elastic Slingshot and call it a day from there. And Kassadin clearing out mid-wave. And top lane there's a gank coming down onto the set. And he is not long for this world. Excellent stun against the wall by the Qiyana. And now time has returned to normal speed. The Chakram has still yet to be depleted, even though it was swapped to like 5 minutes ago. The cannon fires its last ammo and swaps to the pistol. The glaive is now down to a single point of ammo, but the teleport is coming from behind. Ash Arrow definitely evaded by the Aphelios, but he is now pinned into a corner with nowhere to go. He is going to become the casualty. And support set, that is, runs for the hills. A successful teleport gank being pulled off by the Kassadin, the 4-man bot, very easily converted into a dragon. Unless Kassadin wanders off, but doesn't matter, there does not appear to be a successful contest. Nobody's even thinking about doing it. Even the set, not even this set wants to go near. But in exchange for this, mid lane will grab an extra turret plate. And apparently there's a... oh my gosh, my rune light locked out. Let me just quit that. That noise is far too disturbing. Now blue team has secured the Ocean Drake. And Zac will resume his jungle route. Now bot lane being pushed in by the Azir soldiers. CS wise, Azir is not that far behind of Aphelios. But it's been 14 minutes and he doesn't even have Luden's Echo complete. Well, not Luden's Echo. I hope he doesn't go Luden's Echo as this role, but who am I to judge? The soldiers do provide some solid zoning, but this is a very, very squishy bot lane. With a set running up into the Azir's face, it could be very easily converted into a ton of kills. The Haymaker just barely misses on top lane. The trade evens out. No major casualties. Now the game settles back down. Zac is sitting in base and Qiyana wants to look for another gank opportunity. Still very sparsely ganking Qiyana. And being out jungled by a Zac, just by virtue of being Qiyana, you can't clear as quickly as efficiently as Zac can. So you just naturally fall behind in CS as the game goes on. Aatrox gets grabbed and slammed back. Ignite lands on him. Direct to camera, go back! The Haymaker does not find his mark. The Ignite will burn away. The last hit will not be enough to kill off the Aatrox. The Aatrox will scurry away into safety. But meanwhile, the Flamethrower doing dents into the turret. And I hope, for the love of all things holy, that dagger is turning into a hurricane, not a rapid fire. Hurricane is essential on Aphelios. It's not an item you can just skip. The chain misses the Aphelios, latches onto a minion instead. Not Aphelios, Set, and Set will just walk away. Now once again, we have a Zac posturing top lane. The sweeper doesn't find anything, but he sees a pink ward and he will clear it out. Does he opt to stay here for a gank? He will, but Aatrox knows, so Aatrox is playing safe. But counter movements are already coming up. Cassiopeia's through the river, Qiyana's through the jungle, and this Zac might be spotted with one of them. If he commits to the slingshot, he does commit to it. I believe he should be visible for at least a brief moment. Pings are going down already. Set is on his way mid lane, although he still does not have his ultimate. Meanwhile, bot lane, the bot lane has been forced back once again, leaving this tower, which is most likely now going to fall as the first tower in this game. But meanwhile, mid lane, Cassiopeia gets a 3-man stun, walks away from this gank. It's very difficult to control the camera by yourself. Guess why I rely on directed camera. I missed a lot less action in that way. Now the Herald does get aggroed, so he but blue team is not committing to it. Kassadin's just gonna go ahead and stab this mid lane turret and hopefully take it down off this push. It's a very low turret. One more auto reset from the W will do it, but he does not commit. And red team gets here just in the nick of time to save it. But in the meantime, bot lane, Azir is pushing this tower out, and top lane is still trades going down back and forth. The 3-man core moving down in mid lane. The support Ashe plants a ward, sees 3 people before it gets disabled, and turns for the hills. Meanwhile, top lane set is very low after the latest trade. The Haymaker on zero grit does absolutely no damage. But Zac is in position to assist, although Set will call it off and recall. So what is the Zac's call? He is going to turn on a sweeper and sit in this brush, but he has no backup and he's so alone. The rest of the red team core is not in position to punish, so he will simply grab the Krugs and call it a day. Now Kassadin, Rift walks in. The Cassiopeia Petrifying Gate stuns him in place, but that is a level 2 Rift walk. He can definitely make it back in time. The Zayas is not going to be enough to save you by the time Zayas wears off. Rift walk comes out for a third time. Solo kill going down onto the Kassadin with full mana. In fact, he doesn't even lose any thanks to the mana regen from his W. But he is quite low, and his Rift walk is still stacked to 3. Will it be enough to get him out? The cannon does find his mark. The Moonlight Riddle roots him, but he is far too away for pursuit. The Azir blinks. The Azir teleports in right into a Qiyana wall stun, but that is not enough to save the Zac. Zac has been blobbed, and now it's just Aphelios against the world with a Set. The Set grabs the Kassadin and slams him back. He came back far too low to contribute. The Aphelios cleans up the teamfight very nicely. Facebreaker locks him in place. The lifesteal will not be enough to save him. The counter throw tossing Set into the turret, but that is not enough, and Set kills off the Set for an excellent cleanup. And now this middle tower, it's not long for this world. The Miasma falls just short of being able to do anything. Facebreaker pinning the Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia walks far too forward, but the Set will drop to the poison. He has a Trinity Force. That is my patented build. You cannot steal that. And he will submit to being useless because he built Triforce willingly. Who would do that, right? Who would do that, right? But now teleports coming back. The Kassadin wants more action. Even though red team has opted to reset, the Cassiopeia will certainly retreat. Kassadin's wildest dreams is to catch up with the snake and eviscerate her, but can he get there in time? He needs a ballsy blind Rift Walk to find the target. Cassiopeia cancels it, flashing forward, absorbed by the barrier, but another Rift Walk will secure the kill. But now he's totally alone. Will Rift Walk save him? He tanks 2 extra tower shots as he makes his way out, but he has a full mana bar. He can definitely get out. He cancels his first, but his Netherblade picks up the second auto on the plant, and he is definitely going to make his way out. The blue orb spots him for just a brief moment, but he has a Rift Walk. He's going to use it to get out. Aatrox finally responds to the situation, heads down, but it is far too late. Rift Walk brings him out in time, and all this time, blue team uses the Kassadin Great Escape to secure Drake, and the arrow finds its way onto the Qiyana. Qiyana gets bursted, and she is falling very low. The last arrow finds its mark, but the support set coming in, hopefully to clean up. But there's a Kassadin waiting on the wings. 3 people decently low, but Set does not have the damage. He does not have the output. Aphelios comes in. Flamethrower Moonlight Vigil finds one. The second Flamethrower spray will not be enough to kill the Ashe. It is not a critical strike. He has 1 shot left in the sniper. Does not find the mark. And he will weapon swap into the cannon Flamethrower combo. Meanwhile, top lane, Set is still pushing. But back to mid. Zac farming out the Raptors. He gets worded out, and this tower is under attack. There are 4 people from blue team around the immediate area of this tower. None are healthy enough to really assist. Set really wants this top lane T1. He has almost been living up here for the past 20 minutes just so he could actually kill this thing. The Aatrox playing very good tower defense, still managing to keep that tower alive despite being pushed in for basically the entirety of the laning phase. But that tower, certainly not long for this world. He does also, Set also buys a Jordan's Fist, but enough of that, he slams Aatrox away and hits Aatrox twice to kill him. And now this tower finally falls, thanks to a pretty easy tower dive, all things considered. But he does pick up a Jorm's Fist, as I was saying. Now the reasonable thing would to do Titanic Hydra from here, but one can dream. Now Set hitting up on the T2 turret. Pings are coming out onto this turret. He does not show any signs of stopping. Trinity Force is so good at wrecking towers, especially with Set Qs constantly resetting and giving it empower autos. That tower is already dropping so low after just about 20 seconds of being with it. He will actually get the thing from full to 0, but now he has to run. Qiyana flashes in for the engage. She is very low and very squishy. That is a Set 4 levels above her. Qiyana has no chance of winning that fight, and Cassiopeia was not in place to assist. She will try to run away, but the arrow finds its mark. That's going to be a max distance arrow, 3.5 seconds stun, and Cassiopeia is not going to find her way out. Set walks up with the easiest punches of his life, and now the one at a time strat being employed in full force. Aphelios is the next challenger. He grabbed in by Facebreaker, jumped down by the slingshot, and he is so very low. He gets melted by the Set and Zac. The final one at a time victim appears to be the Aatrox. Aatrox will pop the ultimate and run, but it will just barely be enough. However, they leave behind 3 bodies and 2 turrets in this prolonged exchange. While all this time, Kassadin free to run shop bot lane. He is picking up an extraordinary amount of CS. Archangel staff also coming along very nicely, just over halfway stacked. The Set is still here. Qiyana wants blood. She has actually respawned in time, but Set will walk away, completely undeterred by that sequence of events. And his kill score just went from average to amazing as a result of that entire sequence right there. Now Kassadin, a level 14, 5 whopping levels above the Qiyana. Definitely right now the lowest level player in the game. Holding on to Warrior, Charms Fist, and the boost mobility. Although the window for boost mobility to be in full effect has long since passed. Now, support Set gets jumped on by the slingshot. Kassadin Rift walks in for assistance. Haymaker goes out, giving him a massive shield. But Qiyana, once again, the lonely victim as a result of this fight. Aphelios walks in a bit too far as well and gets deleted by the Sand Soldiers. Sandisk gets raised up by the Azir. And now, a 5-on-3 siege. So started by a fortunate 2 picks onto a squishy AD carry and a very underfed jungler. Now the siege is in full force. 4 members trying to make their way in. The chain pulls back to Kassadin, albeit briefly. And the single lonely Kassadin minion is not enough to substantiate the siege. But blue team certainly is establishing a chokehold over red team's base at this moment in time. Sweepers coming out on the top side jungle. Trying to clear out some vision, desperately securing what little they can. Windrake up in 15 seconds, but that seems like a gimme for blue team. Red team is now fully pinned into their base. They cannot come out, they cannot assist in time. It is basically the entire map is now blue team's plaything. They have so many champions that can hard shove, hard push, and destroy towers in record time. The Set build going much more offensively orientated than you would think. Sterak's Gage is actually the correct item to be buying instead of Titanic Hydra. But I call that backing off. Just go full damage. Get a Hydra too. Even the Set with this offensive build, he can very easily take that tower down. Easy secure onto the Cloud Drake. Red team has just barely poked their head out of their base, and now they may be forced back once again. Set pops his Q and runs out. Facebreaker, not Facebreaker. Is it Facebreaker? But anyway, Zac jumps in. The elastic slingshot does not find his target, and his Q will also miss. Is this Q actually called Facebreaker? It is called Facebreaker. Huh. I kept worrying that I was saying it wrong the whole time, but no, it is Facebreaker. Now, Baron Nashor, the next target. It has been pinged out by blue team, but the lonely Cassiopeia seems to be the next target. Kassadin comes in. Petrifying Gaze does not get the stun, but the solid amount of burst has been landed onto the Kassadin. Kassadin has to rift walk away. Zac comes in for an assist, but Cassiopeia walks away unscratched, essentially. And now a fight breaks out into the jungle. Elastic Slingshot finding the Aatrox. Aatrox pops the World Ender immediately and tries to get out. However, Azir Sand Soldier finding his mark. Moonlight Vigil does not land critical damage. The Azir while shoving 2 back. The Set slamming it onto the whole team. That is a clean ace coming out from blue team. A 5-for-2 exchange. Wombo comboing in the jungle. empowered by the set slam, damaging the remnants of red team, and that is a clean wipe. And blue team is now fully in control, wiping red team off the face of the earth. Now this is a Baron. They might not have the damage, the Ashe might be a support, but that is a Triforce set, ready to beat the crap out of Baron Nashor, as long as he is not the one tanking it. Just remember, the person that's tanking Baron Nashor deals half damage to it. Set is your primary DPS in this fight. You definitely don't want him to be tanking. It's gonna take way too long, but it doesn't matter. Red team is not just now respawning one by one. So this Baron is not going to be contested, and will go away quietly into the night, into the pockets of blue team. They secure the Baron Nashor, and they call it quits. Even the Azir, who has just respawned, picks up 300 gold, will go, and it's like, oh, let's reset it. Let's reset too. And now, red team in even more dire strait than before. The next Drake will be the Wind Drake. They're so far behind in this game at the present moment that nothing they do appears to be working. That is not the correct Aphelios build at all. Well, it is, but it's in completely the wrong order. That is definitely not the way you want to be playing this build. The idea of wanting Rune's Hurricane second over another damage item like Infinity's Edge or even Rapid Fire Cannon is because Rune's Hurricane just scales obscenely well with Aphelios' kit. Most of Aphelios' kit rely off applying marks or detonating marks. Two of his weapons can apply a mark. One of his weapons has two of other weapons have on-hit effects, and the other weapon just does, the fifth weapon Crescendo just does insane DPS. So the point behind the Runes is once you apply a mark, you can actually hit triple the amount of targets with a single mark. So that works as a sniper. If you apply a sniper mark and you click on them, that will actually fire off Rune bolts, allowing you to set off very long-range multi-man pokes. Infernum with Runes is just completely disgusting. Each bolt also spreads flames, and especially if you land Moonlight Vigil with it, that is also a critical part of all the BS hits, because all those auto attacks get bolts. It just multiplies your damage by insane degrees. It's far more than what Infinity Edge can give you. Infinity Edge gives you 50% crit damage, but oh my god, a massive Azir wall shoving back, instantly killing Cassiopeia, immediately finishing off the Kiana. That is a very clean wall, killing two. And now, three-way push coming into the red team. They are being stretched thin. They don't have the members. It doesn't seem like this is defensible. A single Infinity Edge providing only 50% crit damage increase, paling in comparison to the utility the Runes can provide. It multiplies your damage far more than 50%. It's why he's obscene with AoE, to be honest. But enough of that. Kassadin Rift walks in, gets onto the Aatrox, gets onto the rest of the team. Support set being slammed away by top lane set. Fully charged Haymaker does not actually land the true damage, and the counter slam comes out. Facebreaker slams on too. Aphelios retreating back and already dead. Cassiopeia respawns, runs in the middle of four people, and immediately dies. That is a clean ace. That is going to be the end of this game. BM flashes coming out, but that is going to be the end of that.